Villains aren't born, they are made. This quote is perfect to describe the character of Suguru Geto from the anime Jujutsu Kaisen. Geto is one of my favorite characters from the series, not just because of his amazing hair, but I feel like he's probably one of the best written characters as well, apart from my man.
As the strongest curse, Jogoat, fought the fraud, the king of curses, he began to open his domain. Sukuna.
But what makes Suguru Geto such a great character? Why did he become evil? What impact does his evilness have on Gojo and the other characters in JJK? Why does he call everyone monkeys? Why is he so damn cool? Let's take a look, shall we? To understand Suguru Geto, we have to look at his introduction. No, and I'm not talking about Kenjaku. In this video, I'll only be talking about the OG, Geto. And to do that, we have to look into the hidden inventory arc, where it all started. We first see Geto in the Hidden Inventory arc, episode 1, alongside Gojo and the other sorcerers, saving Utahime from a curse. As playful banter, Gojo teases Utahime for being weak and needing help, when he hears someone from his background saying, This was the first time we properly see special grade sorcerer, Suguru Geto, Gojo's best friend and fellow sorcerer. Now, I want you to remember this line that Geto says, because it will come handy on later in the video. Throughout this mini arc of 5 episodes, Geto serves as Gojo's counterpart, a calm, collected, somewhat pessimistic contrast to the hyper-arrogant Gojo. Geto also serves as a moral compass throughout the arc, keeping Gojo in check, almost like a brother or a parent of sorts. However, all of this changes with the appearance of Toji Fushiguro.
I'm not a Zenin anymore. I took my wife's name. It's Fushiguro now. But sure, count me in on all the fun.
Every 500 years, a young female is born to merge with Master Tengen, an entity responsible for keeping Jujutsu barriers stable throughout Japan. This female is called a Star Plasma Vessel. During the arc, Gojo and Geto are tasked with protecting the newly identified Star Plasma Vessel, Rika, until her merging with Tengen. Gojo and Geto decide to protect Rika in case she chooses not to merge with Tengen, with very bold but well-meaning confidence that they could take on anyone who tries to force Rika to do otherwise. This one moment between these two characters defines Suguru Geto very well up until this point. Someone who lives the grim, macabre life of a Jujutsu sorcerer, but yet tries their best to maintain their moral compass and own sense of justice. However, these morals are really tested when Toji Fushiguro, an assassin from the Zenin clan hired to kill the Star Plasma Vessel, succeeds in doing so, right in front of Geto's eyes. And the former proudly announces that he supposedly killed Geto's best friend, Gojo. After destroying Geto in their confrontation, Toji decides that he hasn't rubbed his Baki-like muscles in Geto's face yet, and proceeds to monologue to the half-dead Geto. After this, Toji leaves, and Geto goes to check on everything going on outside, and finds Gojo carrying the lifeless body of Rika away from an entire cult of eerie cult followers, clapping at the dead body of an innocent girl. He asks Gojo if everything is okay, and Gojo responds with, and here, for once, Geto, the man who served as Gojo's moral compass throughout the entire series, is seen struggling to say no. At this point in the arc, we see Geto at his absolute lowest, but unfortunately for him, he would fall even lower. Hey everybody who's watching this video. If you've come this far and you're enjoying this video, well, first of all, thanks. And second of all, if you are enjoying the video, a like or a subscribe really helps. Thanks again. A year after the Toji incident, Geto mostly goes on missions alone now, almost living a very monotonous life, constantly having to absorb and consume curses, which in his very own words, tasted like cloth that wiped vomit. Geto had to constantly eat vomit to protect the same humans that clapped at the body of a dead innocent girl, the same kind that Toji was, just for those humans to have no control over their cursed energy and just end up producing more curses by letting all of that cursed energy accumulate. So the cycle just repeats. So, On one fine day in the cycle of monotony, Geto is in the shower, and here we see his mental health declining more than ever, as it seems like his demons have finally taken over. The claps of the crowd that he heard a year ago replaying in his head over and over and over, when he calls the very people that he's been protecting all this time filthy monkeys. After his shower, Geto is sitting in a hallway, literally depressed. His junior Haibara arrives to chat with him and informs him that he will be going for a mission out of town. Just then, a special grade sorcerer Yuki Tsukumo arrives to pay the school a visit. This conversation itself deserves its own video, but in summary, Yuki tells Geto that there are two ways to get rid of curses. Method 1, teaching non-sorcerers to control the default cursed energy from leaking out. And method 2, eliminating cursed energy altogether so that curses never exist in the first place. Sounds good, right? But Geto has a different and third option altogether. Why not just eliminate all non-sorcerers? After a moment of silence, Yuki confirms that this will be the most convenient option, to which Geto is shocked to hear an answer. Somehow, Yuki is able to identify Geto's situation as she gives it to him straight. She says that Geto has two parts that are fighting each other in his mind. One, where he embraces his hatred for non-sorcerers, and the other, where he keeps denying it. This made things clear for Geto, a clear decision that had to be made, but it seemed as if life had made it for him. As, a few days later, Geto is comforting Nanami about his mission out of town, as it seemed Nanami had lost his friend on the mission, and that friend was none other than his junior, Haibara. Geto wonders to himself, what if at the end of his jujutsu career, all he has to deal is with the dead bodies of his friends, all to protect the filthy monkeys that he doesn't even care about. However, the incident after this was the tipping point for Suguru Geto. Geto is sent on a mission to investigate two young girls in a village who are said to be cursed and are berated and locked up in prison by non-sorcerers, the same non-sorcerers as the cult, the same ones as Toji Fushigoro. Now, remember how I said that Geto's introduction scene and what he said was important to remember and will come later in the video? Well, here's why. Look into this line again. Geto has always been somebody that has viewed those with lower cursed energy or none at all as lower beings, people that need to be protected. The superiority complex was always there, subconsciously. It's just that this sense of protection turned into a sense of disgust and hatred after his confrontation with Toji and his exposure to the sheep-like cult. Geto was a person who was constantly eating vomit for people he viewed lower than himself, but he always had the sense of love and loyalty to his fellow sorcerers, thus leading to him questioning whether it was even worth it to be a Jujutsu sorcerer for what he considered invaluable creatures. And after all of this, with the little sense of duty that he had left, he still decides to assist the monkeys that he hates, only to find out that those same monkeys are hurting those that he loves, people with cursed energy. Geto has chosen his path, the most convenient one. Suguru Geto is one of my favorite characters in JJK, and I really tried to show in this video why I love him so much as a character. If you enjoyed my analysis on this character, then as I mentioned, a like really helps out, and if you want to see more such content in the future, remember to subscribe. And let me know what you think about Geto, or if you want me to cover any other characters in the future, down in the comments. But yeah, that will be all for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.